This chart illustrates a firm global deadline. The world has committed to reaching a strict emissions target by the year 2050 in order to keep global warming below 1.5 degrees Celsius. But this climate deadline is directly dictating the mechanics of international trade. Major global buyers now require external suppliers to meet these specific standards. If a supplier fails to comply, they risk losing their contracts entirely. For Philippine manufacturers, this pressure from global headquarters turns climate compliance into the prerequisite for remaining on a buyer's approved list. The problem lies in how this mandate is being communicated. The global market is asking its supply chain to reach zero emissions. Taken literally, zero emissions means a company produces absolutely no greenhouse gases during its day-to-day operations. With current technology, reaching that absolute zero state is physically impossible for most Philippine manufacturers. This creates a dilemma. How do these industries survive if the baseline requirement to keep their contracts cannot be met? The mandate centers on a different metric, net zero. Net zero is a mathematical balancing act, rather than the complete elimination of industrial exhaust. Think of it as a scale, weighing greenhouse gases emitted against gases removed. When a company removes as much gas as it emits, the two sides balance perfectly. Compare this balanced equation on the left to literal zero emissions on the right, an empty void. By focusing on the math, net zero provides a pragmatic accounting strategy that lets factories actually keep running. To make this equation work, manufacturers execute a sequential two-step process. Step 1 is the reduction. This means lowering emissions as much as operationally possible through immediate upgrades, like installing energy-efficient machinery and sourcing better raw materials. But even with the strictest efficiency measures in place, some baseline emissions will remain. That brings us to step 2, the offset. This is the mandatory action used to neutralize whatever exhaust is left over from step 1. Companies pull carbon back out of the atmosphere using physical tools like rapid reforestation or by installing direct carbon capture technology. They can also achieve these offsets financially by purchasing verified carbon credits that fund large-scale environmental projects elsewhere. Applying these specific reduction and offsetting tools is the only way a manufacturer can mathematically balance their ledger while keeping the assembly lines moving. Skeptics often argue that net zero is an industry loophole or a sign that we are failing to stop climate change entirely. In practice, it is a necessary, realistic bridge. It connects the hard limits of our current industrial technology with our long-term environmental targets. When international buyers see a company claiming net zero status, they know they are looking at a meticulously balanced ledger. They are not expecting a magical emission-free factory. This distinction prevents local factories from retreating from global markets when faced with an impossible environmental standard. By executing this practical two-step strategy, suppliers can confidently prove their compliance to global buyers and secure their contracts. The math of net zero converts an environmental mandate into a permanent contract advantage.